were you able to, do to replace the productivity?
Well, we just try to, don't forget that was the first time Jared Harper ever played 83 plays in a game. So he got, there are times you got to spell a guy who's not in physical game condition, not for lack of his effort, but just because you got to get used to doing that week in and week out. So I thought he handled it well, and I thought the defense handled it well, just preparing without him, and us, Gibby and the whole defensive staff trying to prepare what we could do with what we had left.
Jared Barber just saying that, as a defense, you relish challenges like what you have this weekend. I think you could look at it one of two ways: be, concerned about what they do positively, or say, hey, that's the opportunity for us to be the first ones to slow them.
There's no question. I think it's fun. I mean, we're going to have a blast defending these guys. We had a blast last year doing it. Our mindset doesn't change. It's just the next game up. This game means a lot to us, and just because it's the next game. And the challenges that they present is speed, tempo, power. They have it all. They're the number 2 ranked team in the country for a reason, and it's a big challenge for us.
What worked well last year? I think back a lot of man coverage, one-on-one coverage, and guys just stepping up. What was the key?
I think we rattled them a little bit with our approach to the game. I think our disguises helped, whether it was man or zone or whatever we were playing, just mixing it up and not making that quarterback feel comfortable in the pocket. Have him doubt himself and what he's seeing.
Last year, Shaq Riddick basically became the Big 12 newcomer of the year because of what he did in this game. That was a huge portion of his season. He's clearly gone now. Who could have that kind of a role of being that extra man that gets sent and gets to the quarterback?
Well, it's funny. You just never know in our defense who's going to have the hot game because we move so many people around. The quarterback has no idea who's coming from which side or in the middle. So, it could be a protection error on their part to see who gets cut loose. So several times last year, Shaq got cut loose on a protection error. So he had a great game, took advantage of their errors, and we just got to find ways to make them confused in order to cut guys loose.
You're talking about Jared Harper there earlier, and then first time he'd had that many snaps. Where was the confidence level of him going in? Still a guy who was a junior, so he's been around a while. It wasn't like you were throwing a freshman out there.
I had 100% confidence in him. He prepared every week like he was going to start. He's very confident, and he had a great role model to look after and watch how Carl prepared and how Carl, approached each game. And I just think he approached it the same way Carl did.
Carl sort of has a calling card, laying those hits. I mean, he has a reputation that he brings each and every season. How does his game, differ or compare to what Jared brings?
Well, there's no one in the country that hits harder than Carl Joseph, so you can't replace that physicality that he ran. Jared's just get him down. You don't have to replace Carl with the violent hits. You can replace him by just making a solid tackle.
Last year's game, it just seemed like everything was drawn out perfectly for this defense. What do you remember about that game and how well that defense played?
Well, our kids took the challenge that, what the Baylor offense presented, and we put our kids in situations where they had to strain in order to be successful. And it was exciting to them. They wanted to be challenged, and they challenged the receivers, they challenged the O-line, they challenged making the quarterback confused.